excited that you're here with us. And wow, we're almost at the end of June already. Where did the time go? Exciting times. I am so excited for what's in store today. We are gonna just do a quick recap of what we did over the past month, and then we're gonna delve into how do you sustain your success. So we started off the month by giving you a chance to get exposed to holistic success. So we did a self-assessment tool so you could select what's the goal that I need to dedicate and focus on for this 1 month that's going to move me towards my best life. And the following week, we walked you into, after you've selected that one habit in that one holistic area, why? What's my why? And we recognize and realize that if our why isn't strong enough, it's not going to get us past the barriers and the barricades and all the obstacles that are going to be thrown our way. So if our why isn't strong enough, just forget it. So you picked your why, and then last week was just amazing. So Jamie, I'm still feeling a little zen from last week. So Jamie walked us through meditation, a mindset and meditation, because we realize if our minds are not where they need to be, we can't focus. So, and then we delved into change, how messy change is. It's not an overnight thing. And so the training last week was on starting with the end in mind, anticipating where you want to go, how do you change, the role community plays in propelling our growth. And then finally, how do we quantify our goals so that at the end, when we say we're successful, we have something to measure that success against. So that was the month in a recap. Wow, crazy. Lots of stuff that we got done. But today it's extra special because we've seen in Telegram that a lot of you have seen some tremendous success. So how do we sustain that success? How do we sustain that success and keep the momentum going? So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. And Lisa is going to jump right into the training. Unless, Jamie, I missed something, which I tend to do, and you want to jump in first. Lisa is going to be walking us through how do we sustain that success. And then we're going to break into some small groups. I love those small groups. So we're going to just talk about the success we've seen so far and what are some strategies to make sure we take that success to the next level. And then we'll talk about next steps. So I'm either turning it over to you, Jamie, or over to you, Lisa.
You know what? We're going to turn it over to Lisa, but I think you said it so well. Guys, I can't believe this is our final week. This is our last session. So if you're not already taking notes, please take notes. This is not just the last session for the Achieve Growth Challenge in June, but the last session that we're going to be running for the summer. So definitely take notes. Without this group, so many people, like statistically, many people will get into a mastermind, get into a group, take a seminar, take a workshop, get excited. And then as soon as they exit the building, they drop back to their regular habits. So how do we sustain this success? How do we keep things moving forward? Well, that's exactly what Lisa is going to talk about. So please take notes. We are recording this for a couple of people who can't make it. So Lisa, can't wait to hear everything you have to share.
Great, thank you. I am just going to share my video or my screen. Hold on one second. Okay, is everybody seeing my screen? Awesome. All right, so as the two ladies already said, welcome to week 4, our final week. I'm really excited because we've done a lot over the last 3 weeks, and now it's time to look ahead and go, how can we keep this momentum going? And so I have thought about 3 tips to keep it nice and short so that they're actionable. 3 tips that I've used personally to keep moving forward, to keep moving towards the things that are important to me. And these 3 things have helped me live my best life. So let's get started. All right, so tip number 1, run your own race. Now, this sounds really simple, but I always have this philosophy that I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I used to compare myself to other people. In particular, I was a portrait photographer, this other photographer, I used to look at his success and think that I was not successful because I was not doing what he was doing. And we weren't even the same. I mean, I'm female, he's male, I have 3 kids, he doesn't have any kids. I mean, I wasn't even comparing apples to apples, and yet I was so down on myself. And so I realized that I needed to focus on myself and worry about me and not try to, compare myself to others. And I mean, a simple way of thinking about this is that I go for walks every day. And if I was to compare my timing to an Olympian, I would really be depressed because I am not at that level. But what I can do is I can make sure that I do my course, my walk faster each day. So I wanted to share with you, and I know it sounds really goofy, but I was able to, in the last 9 days, I've started walking. And I have been able to go from walking my 4-kilometer circuit. I started at doing it 13 minutes and 28 seconds, okay? But because of the advent of technology, I was actually able to watch my pace, and I kept picking up my pace throughout my walk the past 9 days, and I am now just under 10 minutes, so 9 minutes and 54 seconds. So I've shaved off 3.5 minutes just in 9 days over just a 40-minute walk. So imagine if I continue this for the next a year, how far I can get if I can do that in 9 days. So I want you just to focus on where you're heading and what your goal is, and don't look side to side. I mean, we watch horse racers and they have those blockers on the horse's eyes. It's so that the horse is running their own race. They're not worried about the other horses. So just focus on where you're going and don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just focus on you competing against the most important person, yourself. And what you were like yesterday, be better today. So that's number 1. My next tip. Oh, sorry, let me bring that together with where I was. So when I started focusing on my own success, I started to win awards. So I ended up getting, are you ready? Distinguished Citizen of my community, and a volunteer stuff, because I was starting to put myself out there and really making sure that I'm living what I thought was true to myself. And I ended up winning a huge award. My image that you see on the front cover of that magazine, you can see it behind me, was that it got picked for the best image in all of Canada. And I ended up on a magazine cover, which was cool because inside I was able to do it. They were going to do an interview of me. And I said, no, I want you to do an interview about this man, Paul Franklin, and about all these other heroes, and bring attention to post-traumatic stress. So because of what I did, I was able to shine a light on things that are important to me. So like I said, focus on what's important to you so that you find the success and you can make a difference in your community. All right, second tip. Hold on. Second tip, be intentional. I want you to focus on the areas that need it. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about change being messy. We talked about that closet that's really messy and that we keep the door closed so that no one sees it and that we should be opening it up. Well, this is what I'm talking about. An area in your life that is something that is messy, something that, you need to throw that door open and start focusing on. And for me, many years ago, it was my finances. I did not like looking at my finances. I was not doing well, I had debt, and it made me sick to look at it. So I stopped looking at it. And guess what that did for me? It made it worse. It didn't make it any better. And so I really needed to focus on it, but I didn't want to. So I kept ignoring it. I kept not looking at my bank balance. I kept avoiding opening up bills. And again, it only got worse. It did not get better. So finally I realized I really need to deal with this. So I started putting intentional time aside to deal with my finances. So once a week, I had a date with myself for half an hour to go over my finances, to open up those bills and start making intentional effort into clearing up the debt and start making plans of how I can clean it up. And that started getting me having sales targets for myself, because I was in business by myself. There was no boss to say, hey, you must make this amount of money each week or each month. So I started being intentional, starting putting goals for myself, and I was able to clear up a lot of debt in a short period of time. And because of that, I started to get better at this, I got recognized by my own community as being Female Entrepreneur of the Year. I mean, how crazy is that, going from, I think it was a crazy amount of money that I was in debt for, but because I focused on it and I started being intentional and I stopped ignoring the problem, I was able to move in a positive direction in that area that was at the most weakest part of my life. And of course, it took stress off. So again, figure out what area of your life that needs help and put focus on it. Put the energy into it, because good things will happen when you stop hiding from it. Third tip, success is contagious. So I want you to surround yourself in success. What I mean by that is find yourself among positive, motivated people who are looking and working towards success like you are. There was a study done, trying to think of it, was Harvard, anyways, one of the really big universities, and 95%, they came up with a study saying that people are the people that you hang out with affect whether you're going to be successful or whether you're going to be not so successful. And 95% of that comes from the people you hang out with. Now, I want to read the whole study, but just an amazing thing that who you hang out with makes a big difference in our life. So we do need to be careful who we hang out with. But again, talking about being intentional, that's intentionally surround us with people who are on the same type of path. Obviously not the same path, but looking to do positive things. So many years ago, I joined a group of, it was a women's group actually, of people searching for success. Now in this group was people that were above me, had already seen success and were still moving really up high. There was people behind me and I was kind of in the middle of the pack. But what was incredible was by meeting with them regularly, it got me in the habit of doing the tasks that I had put to myself, but I never really got to. I would say, tomorrow. And then years later, I'm still struggling with the same thing. But because I met with these people on a regular basis, I was not going to be the one that put my hand up and said, yeah, I didn't do anything this week. So because of that, it moved me ahead. And I had really big dreams that were kind of crazy. I had a store, a small little studio in a strip plaza. And I really wanted to have a really posh studio out in the country. And I wanted people to come to me and come to this peaceful location. And I also wanted to balance, my home life and my business, because I was a mom. At the time I had 2 kids and I really wanted a 3rd child, but having a storefront at a mall was not really helpful because it was just making it really busy. So I thought if I could have a studio out in the country where my kids would be safe to play outside, where I could have my own park, I wouldn't have to go driving into the city or wherever, different locations looking for park space, this would be my dream. And so with focusing, like I told you, by running my own race and by surrounding myself in a group of people that were cheerleading me on, who were helping me, giving me advice, I was able to realize my dream. And so again, I want to kind of share, my mouse is acting up now, that this area to the left with the big rectangle red shape on it, that was my property that I was able to buy. 23 acres of forestry of my own park. I had trails in it. And the image on the right is my little quaint little studio. My house is to the right. You can't see my house, but I just had to commute across the driveway to go to work. And so It was so lovely, but it took work. Let me tell you, it took work. But if it wasn't for people holding me accountable, I never would have done it. And then, as you remember in my story, the other thing is that I wanted, a little bit of balance in my life so that I could have that third child. So I already had Madison, I had Braden, and I really wanted to add to my family. And so within a very short period of time, well, you know the math, but a short time of being able to focus and be able to afford this building so that the bank didn't look at my bad debt that I had earlier, I was able to purchase this property and build this custom-made studio, because the structure was there. It was a garage. It was a 2-car garage, and I turned it into this beautiful studio with a fireplace and a bay window and the French glass doors. It was awesome. And my most important, one of my 3 most important art pieces, my third child, Ashlyn. So I was able to balance being a business owner and being a mom and completing my family with my third child. So all that to say is that you have been spending the last several weeks, some of you have been with us for 2 months, some of you are only just joining us now, but look back at all those videos of our different live meetings, of all the things that we've been learning, because if you take even one of the items that we have presented to you, you can see success. It is, again, it only works if you work, but I have used them myself, which is why I'm sharing this. I've used them myself. I know that they are successful, and I know that you guys are having some success now. I would love for you to continue. And so these are 3 tips to make it easy to continue yours, run your own race, put focus and intention in the areas that you want to succeed in, and surround yourself in success. Surround yourself in happy, positive, motivated people, and success can be yours. That's it for me today, guys.
I love that. I was super mesmerized by the whole story. Guys, one of the most powerful things that I got out of that was really like the skill sets that we're sharing with you are from our own experience, from our own truth. And before everyone jumped on, there was somebody that new to the group. Her name is Shakira. She actually shared her her Instagram in here, and she was sharing that she is now going for a yoga teacher training. And how I asked her the question, I said, did you ever imagine that, like, if you would have looked back a year or 2 years, that you'd be here right now? And she was like, no. And just like how Lisa's saying, like, she went from negative to positive, right? Literally in bank accounts and in her life. And one good step can lead to something great. We just have to stay on the path. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to break out into little breakout rooms. And before I do that, Lisa, could you just read through some of the chats? We got some great things happening in the chat here. And I'm just going to arrange us into some groups.
Okay, let me just go up here to the beginning because it's been scrolling. Hold on.
We have some great
poor
stuff.
Crystal has a broken phone, so she's not able to communicate with us in Telegram. So that's not good, Crystal. I hope you can get that fixed up. And there's a little bit of chat about how Crystal's heading to Japan, I believe. Which is really exciting. She's been there before and she really likes it. So, I mean, for me, that's hard to imagine going to Japan. And Crystal is, she's so young, and yet she's not afraid to go off and do this and go after her dreams. So I'm really excited for her. Yeah. I mean, we all have our own dreams, and I've shared in the past about how I love to travel. And after, showing you all this, I ended up being, again, more intentional, and I ended up doing traveling as well. But like I said, everybody has their own dreams. And I just want everyone to, get clear on what that dream is and start working towards it, because it is possible. We all can live our best life if we're intentional.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So here's what we're about to do, guys. So we're going to go into a different breakout rooms. This is our our final week.
Amy,
yeah.
Just want to welcome Mary. She was a bit late, but welcome, Mary. First time.
Welcome, Mary. I know we've got a couple of people who are here for the first time, which is really exciting. So guys, if you haven't been on a Zoom with us before, if you haven't been on a breakout room, here's what's going to happen. We're going to break it into 3 different rooms. We're going to have a couple of minutes to chat. We want to pose the question to you. What has being a part of an accountability group done for you in the last couple of weeks? And what do you think would be possible if you had a group of people or somebody to keep you accountable to yourself, to your goals for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next year? What would your life look like? So we just want to explore what's possible and hear from you about what success you've seen. So we're going to break out. Here's what it's going to look like. You're going to see a little window pop up. It's going to say, you know, you're going to move to a breakout room, click accept. You're going to see your screen kind of go dark for a second, or, you know, it'll look like nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden you'll be in a different window with a smaller group of people. And then we're going to have a couple of minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We might even be able to squeeze in 10. And then we're going to come right back here afterwards. Sound good? Thumbs up? Yep. Okay. Here we go. What's going on? Hey. Hey.
All is well. All the cool people are in this room.
We got a good group. We got a good group. Guys, so great to see you. Who do we have? Rita, Crystal. I see that your screen went dark. I know I saw your picture there before, but I see your screen went dark. So I don't know if you can keep your screen however you feel comfortable. Oh, hey, what's going on, girl? And Rita, I know that you're there. Okay, guys, I'm super excited. I can't believe we're here at the last week. Favor, I missed you last week. Yeah. Good to see you guys. So I know every one of you guys have kind of shared. Hey, Jen. Hey, oh, you're muted. You can unmute yourself. So it's been super cool to hear all of your experiences, everything that you're like building on. Yvonne, how you're like just last week we heard about your book and about how you're working at a coach and as a speaker and really an empowerment leader. And Favor, I know you've been talking about building relationships and just being intentional with how you're communicating with people. And Crystal's moving to Japan from Jamaica. Like, this is incredible. And Hetal has seen so much growth. She's been walking. First it was like, okay, you know, I'm doing this. And now she's walking and she's, you know, investigating keto. And you're just like, now you're keeping Andrea accountable. It's like, I love it. And Jen has started a whole new wellness diet. So guys, I know we're all on our each individual path, but for the last 4 weeks, or if you've been with us for the 8 weeks before that, I want to know what has been the one biggest thing that having an accountability group has done for you to help you succeed. I'm going to make it as an open forum.
Okay, I'll go. I have to go. I'll go first. So
okay,
for me,
and then I saw both Hetal and Jen being like,
oh, okay. So for me, what it has done is, and I've done this in the past. I'll say I'm going to do stuff, but because I haven't said it to anybody, then nobody needs to know when I change my mind. Like nobody needs to know. However,
great.
When I decided to do this, one of the things was to get my distinguished Toastmaster, get everything done, do my speeches, being intentional, because if I'm going to speak for individuals, I have to learn how to speak intellectually, concisely, precisely. So I need to practice. Speaking is a craft, and you can't just say, I want to be a speaker and get up and speak. You have to practice that. So there are times when I'm thinking, I'm a little bit tired. I don't want to do a Toastmasters today. Then this little thing in the back of my head said, what did you say you wanted to do? Have you done it? Have you accomplished it? And if the answer was no, then I have to. So I wrote myself a quote. If I say yes, I will always have to do my best. And I keep it so that whenever a little voice is telling me something, I look at that quote and I say, is that your best? The answer is no. I have to get back on track.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The biggest thing that stood out to me is when you said, if I don't tell anybody, then I can keep changing my mind. That's so powerful. And we speak life into our words. And by you sharing about how you're an empowerment coach and how you're helping people and how you're going out to Toastmasters, it's like people are supporting you to get there because we're also curious. It's like, have you done it? Are you doing it? How's it going? Like, that's amazing. That's beautiful. That's super duper powerful. I hear a lot of you guys like nodding your heads there too. Until, do you want to go next?
Jennifer, are you?
Are
Do
you
wanna
talking to
go?
me? Are
Yeah.
you talking to me?
Yeah.
Either you, heads
Yeah,
up, but it
sure.
does sound like
So
YouTube
yeah,
forward.
a half an hour a day. I guess the quandary for me was, how do I make this about a half an hour a day? So I had to just get rid of that, because what I'm doing is 24/7. It's a state of mind. It's not just about a half an hour a day. For me, it's every minute, every hour. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be in this mindset, because it's a huge thing for me. So what I've been doing for the 30 minutes a day is, how do I function with knowing what I have to accomplish, and in those 30 minutes a day, utilize those 30 minutes to do the things that are going to help me in outer areas that are going to benefit me and keep me in success mode, while doing this keto thinking, keto diet, keto preparation. So I am making it the hugest priority, and then taking that 30 minutes to say, okay, at least 30 minutes a day, I need to do something outside of that keto to build me success wise. And that's the way I've kind of conformed it to myself, because I can't just make it about 30 minutes a day. I couldn't figure out how to do that, to be honest.
Wow. That's
so
really cool. So you jumped all in. So it sounds like
I have to,
Yeah.
because as you know, with keto, you can't screw around. You can't just
No.
vary and go, okay, well, I'm going to have some toast.
Yeah.
And it's freaking hard. It's not easy. And so I've just had to put my mindset in and break it up that way.
That's great. I love how you changed. You're affecting a lifestyle change, but you still were intentional with those 30 minutes. You said you had to change your mindset in order to stay in success mode. So you use that as like your bubble to like make sure, like a check-in. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. Congratulations. Like it's a huge shift.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about your recipes. I see Favor nodding, like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's been difficult, because I here expected to be losing tons of weight, like, and it's not happening the way my mentality is thinking. So it's a
Remember
matter
what
of,
Lisa said.
yeah. So I'm getting away from the scale now, and I'm just focusing on eating the way I know I'm supposed to, and I know the rest will happen.
That's exactly
Can-
it.
can I-
Run your own
Jen-
race.
And
Jennifer,
I'm feeling really good. That's the main thing. I feel great.
Yeah.
Jennifer,
ahead,
can I
Yvonne.
just tell you, well, you probably see me now, what I look like now, but in 2003, I was at my heaviest, 203 pounds, and I did everything. I even did, well, my friends say it's a starvation diet, but I tell myself I'm fasting, you know, so this way I'm cleansing, but I was actually trying not to eat, and that did not help. I tell you what helps. Your body basically is saying, and I used to say this to my body, you're hanging on because you think I'm starving you. But I would talk to my body. I said, I'm not starving you. I'm just trying to get you healthy. Understand this, okay? So when I eat this, this is for my benefit and for your benefit. I literally was talking to, it's almost like you are coaching a child, and the child is so mad at you when you say, you can't stay up until 2 o'clock and watch TV. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. And they're upset.
Yeah.
So talk to your body. Tell your body, I am taking care of you. You're going to be okay. I know you're telling me you're hungry, but you're okay. I'm going to drink some water, and we're just going to sit here for a minute, read a book or do something. Talk to your body. I start talking to my body, and my body starts to respond. Right?
100%.
I put, you know what I did? I put the scale away. I put the scale
You're
away.
right. You're right.
And I don't worry about scale.
And last night I picked up my daughter at the train station from Ottawa, and they all were starving. So I had to take them all to McDonald's and bring McDonald's home. And you know what? I thought in my head, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this? And it actually was like, not a problem. I was so amazed. I was like, wow, I didn't even need to go and eat something else.
That's
You know
amazing.
what I mean? Yeah. So anyway,
I
sorry.
love that.
Enough about
No,
me.
Okay.
everyone else.
True. Yeah, that's true. I talk to myself as if it's a separate person. I'm like, okay, brain, this is what's up. Just
The
like you talked about.
angel, the devil, the angel, the devil.
Yeah.
That's it.
Screw
That's
up. Get
it.
away from me.
That's it. Hato, let us know how has this been significant for you? How has this helped you towards your goals? Or what? Tell us about some of your successes.
So the group has been really motivating me now on, like, just like Yuan just told that you have to talk with your body. This is something new that I learned today, and I'm definitely gonna follow it. And I really hope that that's gonna show me some better results than what it's doing right now. Then Jamie, because of you, I started meditating, and it's so peaceful for me. I feel so
Yay!
relaxed. Then I started listening to podcasts, which Matthew suggested. I started reading the book, which Paul suggested. And I started to learn one more new language, Portuguese language, which
Just
Anastasia is doing.
everything.
So I love to do new things. I always try to do new things. So it's like the group is so perfect for me. It motivates me. It keeps me accountable for what I'm doing. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
That's incredible. Like, sheesh, when I was saying, like, you did this, now you're doing this, and you're doing everything, like, you literally, you're like, I'm taking on languages and books, and you know what, the mind is a sponge. And what you feed it, it absorbs. So that's really powerful that you've got such an open mind that you're like, you know what, this is good information. These are people who want to see me succeed. I'm going to take the parts that I think will help feed me. And I'm super excited that you took on meditation as well. That's that's amazing. I'm super excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
dope. You're a part of the inner circle, right?
Yes, I am. The
Yes.
first one.
yes. And Yvonne too. I saw that you signed up.
Yes.
Yes. I'm stoked
We're gonna
about
have so
that.
much fun.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And Favor, I see you nodding over there. Tell me what's up. How's your month been?
I think that this is just amazing. One of the reasons why I joined and decided to be a part of this, it was because I wanted to talk about relational, and because I feel like in my area, building relationships is really important, because then I could nurture relationships. I communicate with people that I want to, be part of in my future. And just to dive in a little bit, over the month, over the weeks, it's really paid off, because, for example, I think Yvonne is in my Toastmasters meeting.
Cool.
I think I was given the vice president of public relations in my Toastmasters club, which was great. And this was just because I was communicating with certain people and adding value to them.
Awesome.
Recently, I could say I registered a business in Ontario, so it was more like me communicating and adding, and not just communicating, but adding value. For me to communicate, I need to add value to people, to your businesses. Is really paid out. And having a focus group, or a group that's going to keep you accountable, is really important, because then it's not just you, right? It's like people are motivating you, people are keeping you accountable. I mean, there's this quote that says, alone you can go fast, but together you can go far. I mean, just to see that, it really works that way. And just to add to this, it's been amazing. One of the reasons why I wasn't here last week was because I had a meeting around that area, so I apologize. But I came in late. I decided that I must come in, but it was at a later time. But yeah, I just felt like adding to this. This is amazing. I like how everyone is talking about your goals and how you're moving forward and what you're taking from here. And yeah, I would like to see more of this. So I'm here. I'm tapping, implementing, and also looking to add value by sharing with others as well.
That's really, really, really powerful. I'm so excited to hear that. Favor, I want you to join the inner circle. I want you a part of our crew. But you also take it to the next level when you share that you're adding value, not just back to this group, but you're taking the value from here and adding value to other people. That's servant leadership, right? That is, in our inner circle, well, I think Andrew's going to touch on it very quickly, but there's different types of leadership. There are people who are bosses, you can be a leader, but servant leadership is when you serve your people, when you serve people around you, when you give in and you pour into them. And that shows them how they in themselves can be better, how they themselves can lead, how they themselves can step into something greater. And that's very, very powerful. And servant leadership is, it's a really beautiful act that will take you incredibly far. So I'm excited to hear that. I know we only have a couple of seconds left. Crystal, do you want to share anything?
I'll share really fast. First, I'm hiding my mouth because I can't get this mango out of my teeth. So
oh, that sounds like a great problem.
It was really yummy. But anyway, I think one of the best parts about the group is not having to beg for accountability partners. Because I know, just like what Yvonne was saying, like I can change my mind a bunch of times because no one knows. I know that that's my personality. I need to have someone accountable.
Yes. Oh, I see the sign coming up. We've got a couple of seconds left. Keep going. Yes, you don't have to beg for accountability partners.
Having the group being like wanting to help, having the group, yeah, that's easy to change my mind and say, oh no, I didn't say that. I was gonna,
well, you're kind of breaking up
read
there.
for 30 minutes a day. So having the group has been really helpful. I'm sorry, it's like bad out
Don't
here.
apologize. That's not you. You can't. You can't control the internet.
Yeah.
Nothing to
Hanging out
apologize for.
outside.
I love it. Gosh, that's a great plan. I love what you said because it's like you don't have to beg for accountability partners. These are people who are following up on you. Accountability partners aren't necessarily the people you like right away. It's like, hey, have you done this? Hey, are you jumping on the call? Hey, is what you said important? Oh man, we were just wrapping up.
I know, right? It goes by quick.
It goes by so quickly. Guys, if you were like our group, we were really getting into the discussions and there was so much great stuff. Crystal, I'll just finish because I was just kind of like saying something to you really quickly. She was sharing how what she really loves about the accountability group is that she doesn't have to beg for somebody to like keep her accountable, right? We don't really want to be accountable. A lot of us, it's like you have lofty goals and then to have somebody be like, hey, have you done it? Hey, did you invest your time? Did you do the work? Did you make those calls? Did you do it? It's not always the people that we like. But very quickly, I want to share from our group because we had some really powerful shares. I think one of the most powerful things, I actually wrote it down, that somebody shared was, she said, if I don't tell anyone my goals, then I can change my mind. So having this group over the last couple of weeks has meant that other people are asking her about her goals. Other people are holding her accountable to what she said she was going to do, because I know for myself how many of you guys have said, I'm going to do this, but you haven't actually told anyone. And then you change your mind like 3 days later. You're like, never mind. I'll do that next month. Right. So staying committed to something for a consistent amount of time and having other people check in with you really does force you to move forwards even when we don't want to. We are almost at the end here. So what I want to do is I want to actually invite Lisa and Andrea. Can you guys share something? Like, I know that we all had some great conversations. I see a lot of smiling faces, a lot of head nodding as I'm talking. So maybe Lisa, why don't you go first? Just kind of share the biggest thing that stood out for you.
Okay, so a lot of great conversation, but I think the biggest thing was Sharon, who talked about doing the challenge for the last 2 months. And her first month was about time blocking and getting her time back, right? Getting organized on her time. And she was able to master that to the point that in the second month, so June's challenge, that she is doing the most amazing thing. She is writing a book. She's writing her story. And what's really cool about it is, A, she wouldn't have had time if she didn't do the first challenge and get her time under control. But the second thing is that because she's surrounded all these people that are, really encouraging her, and people that know her and know that she has an amazing story, they were the ones that were encouraging her to do this book. So if it wasn't for the group that she was surrounded in, she may never have gotten this book, or this book would be years from now when she finally got enough belief in herself to do it. But because she was surrounded in people that believed in her, she is now writing it. And she tells me that she's almost halfway through it, or she's halfway through it now.
Wow.
And so she's looking at next month, she's going to have to figure out, how do you get it published now? So that was, again, we had lots of conversation, but because of time, I won't go into all of it. That was the biggest one that I wanted to share, that I'm excited about, because Sharon is doing an amazing job. And it was because of the first challenge of getting one new habit taken care of that she's able to do something that she's always wanted to do.
That's awesome. Yay. Sometimes, even last month, when we got to the end, some people said, you know what, I realized that I actually didn't stay accountable to my goals, but I needed these 30 days in order to recognize, okay, like I need to go from 0 to 1 before you go from 1 to 100. So now that she took the first month, was intentional, started a practice, now she started a book, now she's like on to the next phase. It's just step by step we get to where we want to go.
Baby steps all the way to success.
Boom, baby steps all the way to success. Write that one down. That's good.
Baby steps are still steps, right? Baby steps are still steps.
Exactly.
Yes, baby steps are still steps. Absolutely.
And if we try to think of really big steps, we're not going to do it. We're going to get scared, or we're going to go, oh, I can't do this. So by doing baby steps, we don't even know we're heading in the right direction, right? Where it's so little, but being continuous, doing it every day, we can make strides. So,
and that's just what it is, because just to kind of add on to that I've been wanting to write a book for a very long time, because I knew I had a story to tell, but I kept thinking of, how do I get it published? How do I get published? How do I, I'm not at that point yet. So I shouldn't even been thinking of that. But because we started doing these little baby steps ahead of time, now I'm almost to the point where I can be, but I had to write the book first, but I was worrying about what to do. But because we took that accountability and worked on the little baby steps, it makes that goal attainable, because
that's dope.
Yeah. That's
awesome. Congratulations. Thanks. Now guys, I know we're kind of at time, so I want to ask for your permission to stay on for 5 more minutes. Is that cool? Yes? Awesome. Andrea, I'm going to invite you on. You want to share one thing about your group?
And you got to unmute yourself.
So with the group I was in, some amazing successes, but one big takeaway was, whatever your 30 minutes is, pat yourself on the back when you have made strides, because you're not always going to be as successful as you want. But today is a good day to start, but try and knock it off early. If you want to read a book, 30 minutes of a book, do that first thing in the morning. If you want to do your exercise, do that first thing in the morning, and give yourself permission to focus on your 30 minutes, because we had people in our group who were getting distracted by other things, but this is your time, your commitment, so do it. But try and knock it off first thing in the morning. Hope I represented you guys well enough, guys. Excellent. Back at you, Jamie.
I love that. So guys, we are officially done. We are wrapping this thing up. And the biggest thing from today is, stay in your own lane, focus on what you have to do. Don't look at what everyone else is doing. Remove your distractions. Goodness, my brain is blanking on the second one. Lisa?
Focus, intention.
Focus.
Be intentional.
Focus. Be intentional. I love that. And the third one is surround yourself with success. Be around the people who will help you stay accountable to where you want to go. The truth is that our friends and our family know us as how we were, who we were, all of our good, all of our bad, all of our crazy moments. So sometimes it takes finding a new group of people who are also moving forward in order to see what we truly want to be shown for. Does that make sense? Yes? Awesome. So guys, we're officially wrapping up. And what I want to do is we will not be continuing this session forward. What we did, Andrea, Lisa, and myself collaborated on this back in May, because we wanted to run a pilot project to really create something that we wanted to see in the world. I wanted this project, right? We wanted this project to exist. I needed it for myself. And that's why we built it, right? We were tired of the negativity. We were tired of all of that. So this was our first kind of run. May was our first kind of run. June was our second version, right? We iterated, we grew, we changed, we made it a lot more personal, shared our own stories from it. And the next phase of it is that we're actually launching the Achievers Inner Circle, which some of you might have heard of. And some of you are also joining in for, which I'm super excited about. The Achievers Inner Circle, wait a second. The Achievers Inner Circle is the next level of this, because we're not running the growth challenge. We're done for the summer. We might run it again in the fall because people have had so much fun with it. We've had a lot of fun with it. But the Achievers Inner Circle is a way to sustain our success. So we're taking it to the next level. We're offering success trainings. It's going to be a much closer knit community where we've got success partners, success groups, webinars, introduction courses, live Q&A sessions, and success circles. So resource libraries, discussion forums. Imagine this, you've got access to it every single day on a website, which is really, really cool. We are super excited about this because just like how, Shakira, I'm gonna bring you up. It's her first day, so I'm mentioning her so many times. Just as how sometimes when you start on a path, you know that there are great things for you, but you have a hard time thinking like 1 year ahead, 2 years ahead. But imagine having a group of people. What would be possible if they held you accountable to the best version of you? If they held you accountable to the highest version of you, who was successful, who was resourceful, who was, looking ahead, problem solving. That is what we're for. That is what the Achievers Inner Circle is, and that's what we're going to continue to provide. And that's why we want to invite you guys in. Right now, like the value that we're putting together on this website, we put it together. It's like a $97 value a month. We're offering it for like about double for regular people, but for everybody who was with us for our pilot project in May and in June, we're inviting you guys to be founding members. So that means it's something ridiculous that we're offering our founding members. It's $777, is that right, for the monthly cost?
Yeah.
Which is a ridiculous fee. We've also got an annual and a lifetime membership, which is exciting. It means you got us for life. And really what that means is that you now have access to this information. We are going to be meeting again next Thursday. We're keeping the date Thursdays. We're changing the time. We're changing the location. So if you guys have already registered, you're going to have access to a website. I think Lisa might even put the website into the link here.
Yeah, I just put the link. I just put the link out there.
Awesome. Thank you. If you haven't yet registered and you want to stay connected with us, please do. We'd love to have you. If you are somebody who wants to keep moving forward, if you're somebody who wants more accountability, if you're somebody who wants the system to success and the people who are going to be there to support you, then come with us. We're super excited about this. And there are other ways to stay in touch with us if you decided, you know what, maybe not right now, you don't want whatever your choices are. Follow us on Instagram, on social media, stay connected with us. We're going to keep the Telegram chat group going, or well, open. We're going to transition to a new sort of format. Shakira says, this looks great and so awesome. Yeah, Shakira, it's so great to have you on for the first time. Matt says, I'm definitely in, want to continue to be a part of this group. Yeah, for sure. We have so many great people. I'm really excited about this. And Andrea has posted in the location to the Achieve Inner Circle. So guys, we're officially done. We're complete. I'm going to finish this recording, but we're going to finish with a final affirmation, which is what we've been repeating this whole month. And that is, I have the power to reinvent myself. I have the power to reinvent myself. I have the power to reinvent myself. Words, we speak life into words, but it's also how we say them. So saying it with vigor, with intensity, right, with truth, with our whole body will change our state, change our mindset, and change what we're after. So we are officially done. I'm going to stop the recording, and we're going to keep this chat open for the next 8 minutes to kind of answer any questions. But we are so happy to have been on this journey with you. If you are not joining us for the next stage, we are so excited for your success, and we are celebrating you exactly as you are, and can't wait to see more.